What's going on? It's Tahchee, it's the Culture Lot. We gotta talk about Pat Bev. Pat, what's going on, brother? What's going on? We hearing DV claims. You're allegedly putting your hands on your little sister. We gotta talk about this. I'm Tahchee. It's the Culture. Keep it live. This is my take. Let's get it. I said, what's going on? NBA superstar. All right, superstar's a stretch. NBA star Pat Bev, who's currently not in the NBA, and if any of this is true, even if it's not true at this point, he's not going back. I know that was his aspiration to get back on the team for one last hurrah. Surprise, it's not happening. But the story goes, and the story grew legs. It kept changing, right? The story originally started with Pat Bev came home to his crib at night or whatever, and he catches his little sister with a man, right? Setting it up on some kind of like PDF situation. And then the story was kind of like Pat Bev beat the dude up and then subsequently got arrested. And you go, okay, understandable. Little sister is, however that happened, she's getting taken advantage of by this man, and in his crib, you gotta protect his little sister. Understandable. All right. They put out, his PR team puts out statements, Pat Bev, the story is not what you think, and everything will come to light, and in that kind of manner, right? And then the story grows and gets bigger, right? So it goes like, okay, sister's 17. This is the original thing. Sister's 17. We find out that the man is like 18. So that kind of changes things a lot. It's not like a PDF situation. It's like a young man and a young girl, and they're together, or whatever they are, booze, lovers, friends, whatever they are. They were together. And young kids gonna do what young kids do. I mean, kids, they're young adults. They're gonna do whatever they do. So now it becomes, okay, Pat Bev might have overreacted. He might be a super overprotective brother, whatever the case, and jumped on a dude. He still go, all right, he might need to go get some therapy and get that sorted out, because that's an aggressive reaction to two people that are of the same age deciding to do whatever they were doing. But then that's not even the story. So then now, police reports come out, right? And then you hear the assault turn into now DV assault, domestic violence. So now you go, okay, that's not good. Because in the scenario, it's only Pat Bev, his little sister, and the young man. Pat Bev and the young man, they ain't got no domestic relationship. They're not family. So that only means one thing. Whoa, hard stop. Did you do something to your little sister? And according to her story is, yeah, he did. He came home, he saw them together. He might have felt like, this is my castle. How dare you? I let you stay here, live here, and you're doing this up under my roof type of vibe. And the story from her mouth goes, he grabs her, he begins to choke her. She says that she couldn't breathe for about 20 seconds. He then throws her, boom, to the ground, boom. But he's not done yet. I'm sure he's barking and he's lecturing her. He goes over to her, stands over her, and clocks her in the left eye. Boom. That's not good. Pat Bev, that's not good. That is like the polar opposite of good. But this is her story, right? And this is all alleged, and he's gonna have a day in court, and maybe she's lying. But that would be quite the lie to make up about your brother who is housing you out of the blue. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's highly improbable that she's lying. And there's no way that Pat can spin this in the light. Nothing that his PR team can do. And we should have knew from the beginning, because the PR team statement was basically like, we don't believe that something happened. from jump. We don't believe in nothing. We'll figure it out. We don't think it. Pat doesn't sound like Pat Bev. So they don't even know what happened. He was trying to clean it up or lie to them, but then it all comes out. And this is probably the worst thing you can do, right? Assault your little sister because she's with her boyfriend or boo or whatever he is. Because maybe you're power tripping, maybe you're angry about other things. You know, when something like this happens, you go like, it gotta be deeper than what it is. Not to give him any kind of bail or any justification, because that's just absolutely unacceptable. You shouldn't be putting your hands on nobody, especially your little sister, especially your family, nobody in general. So it's a bad look. So think about this, right? Pat Bev goes into that house, sees the situation. There's 1,000 ways he could have approached this situation. Pat Bev chose the absolute worst, disgusting, unjustifiable choice. Out of 1,000, he decided to choose the worst one. And it's like, brother, are you okay? Are you going through something? Were you having a bad day? And then to try to spin it, you know, I think that's the problem. That's the part that's gonna like really make this nasty for him. That they tried to like sweep it under the rug or make it seem like it was something that it wasn't. But the sister, I guess she wasn't with that. Whatever they were trying to do, she said, no, this is what happened. He violated me. It is what it is. So I think like there's no way that he looks good in this situation. But the fact that that the story was like a lie in the beginning, and now the truth came out, what can you do about it? And his lawyers were adamant. They were making statements. They were saying like, you know, Patrick's not a violent man and he didn't do nothing violent that night. So why does he make that statement? If she's a complete like pathological liar, that'll come out and then we'll be like, oh, how bad. But until that happens, brother, you're in quite the pickle. It's not good. This is not good. This was a total misjudgment by you. This was the absolute dumbest thing you could ever do. Someone and you had these NBA aspirations of getting back in the league, you just shot yourself in the foot with that. That's over. It's done. You're cooked. I don't see any way out of this. You're cooked. You're gonna have to go on some kind of, I don't know. All I can say, brother, is you bugged out and now you're in a terrible situation. Maybe you got anger issues and things of that nature that you need to address. So maybe this is a good thing, however it turns out. And maybe you'll be forced to go and sit down and talk to people and figure out where that came from. No matter the situation. Even if you would have attacked the dude, you still would have been wrong in that situation. Your sister can make her own decisions. She's not a toddler, 17. You can do what you want to do. And you cannot like it, but you gotta approach those situations completely different from deciding to put your hands on somebody to assert your dominance. That's probably the weakest thing a person can do, to resort straight to using physical pressure to try to sway a situation or to control a situation. That doesn't show anything except that, you know, you're emotional, you're angry, and you don't know how to articulate how you feel. Because you could have easily had a conversation with your sister and a young man. This could have gone so different, but you chose to take the way of force. And that's just not how this works. And you're not young, bro. You're up there. So you know better. Which means that you either have a problem, you have issues, Or you don't care. You're that arrogant. You thought you just do what you want. You're the king of your castle. Now you got court to deal with, buddy. But I wish you well. I wish everybody love and light. I'm Tahchee. That was my take. It's the culture. Keep it locked. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out of here. Keep your hands off people. Everybody.